Hello, Anime Addicts. It is the season of giving, and the podcast would like to find a way to give back in appreciation of all the support you Anime Addicts have given us over the years. And so for the first 3 months of 2021, we will be donating 50% of all additional support we receive during that time to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. And we're hoping that together we can make a difference. If you want to help out, go over to aaapodcast.com/join our Patreon, or simply click the donate link on the top of the page, and 50% will be submitted to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Thank you again. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and at the end of the day, the AAA were still stirring, thinking of cool anime. Mitsuki was in his room, passing the time lifting, his search filled with cells and other cool things he could be gifting. Mandy was wrapped in blankets, sitting on her bed reading, thinking, well, this character in Hunter x Hunter is a little misleading. Enzo was singing sweet songs that rang out through the hall, pumped up from Haikyuu and their fun game of volleyball. Mason was in the kitchen, stealing small bites of pie, when suddenly a shadow caught his discerning eye. There by the tree, a man with a big beard was stacking body pillows and other things equally as weird. Ho, ho, ho! His laugh was loud and strong. The others came running to see what was wrong. Oh, the sight they saw was so wonderful. Presents stacked high with wrappings so colorful. Anime merchandise scattered all around. Totoro plushies that made such a cute sound. There on the stack, Tatami Galaxy Pajama. Sitting next to them, the manga collection for Gintama? Is this a guitar from the anime Beck? Who did all of this? Come on, guys, what the heck? The bearded man smiled brightly at their confusion and reassured them that this was no mere illusion. I wanted to give you a gift for all your hard work. I even got you the complete box set for Berserk. The hosts looked at each other. Their eyes glittered from this event they didn't foresee, while Mason said, I give it a 1.5. This is way too much fun for me. Merry Christmas to all. I hope you enjoyed this verse, and I hope we made your anime addiction just a little bit worse.
来てくれてありがとう You're listening to the Anime Addicts Anonymous Podcast. Take your anime addiction to the next level at aaapodcast.com/join. And now, here are your anime addicts.
I was muted. I apologize. Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 555 of the Anime Addicts Anonymous Podcast, our special Christmas edition. Hello. I am Mandy with my Catmas, guess kind of like hat that doesn't fit over my cat headphones. It's like kind of like squeezing my head, but you know, we'll see
Fantastic.
how long it lasts. It's also glittering. It has lights on it. I'm also joined by Mitsuki. Hello.
What a fantastic opening carol from Mandy. So thank you. I am truly in the spirit now, and also in the spirit with my Krispy Kreme Christmas donut, which I'm going to have here with coffee. And
It actually looks really good.
it's so good.
We're also joined by Mason. Hello.
Hello, everyone. I've got my imaginary KFC, my imaginary Christmas cake, so I'm in the mood. I've got my little sweater with the dinosaurs with their little party hats on, looking up at the sky, saying Santa as the asteroid comes plummeting at them. So I'm feeling it. I like how Mandy's got her cat headphones on with her cat hat, and she will soon be at capacity, and we'll have to probably remove one of them.
That's the
Yeah, like right now it's squeezing my head so much that it kind of hurts, honestly.
that's
So enjoy
the
it while it lasts.
the ugliest ugly sweater hat I've ever seen, but it's
My mom bought it.
fantastic.
For me.
Good job, Mom.
But hello, we are here dedicated to making your anime addiction worse. We're very happy to be here for a very joyful episode today where we are going to go over a Christmas survey that we sent out to all of our listeners with some very fun questions on them. And then after that, we're going to do a review of Deca-Dence. But up first, if you would like to watch us live every Sunday, we are live on Twitch. So you can follow us on Twitch to get updates on when we are going live. And follow us on Facebook, and there's a Discord button or a link to our Discord on our website, aaapodcast.com. And we also have Mason's poll. Would you like to mention it?
Yeah, really quick. The best of 2020 is officially out. It's in the Discord. It'll probably be out onto social media soon enough. So if you have opinions on this last year of anime, we would love to hear them and get in there and put in your votes, and we'll do a show about it all. You have until 2021 to do it, which sounds like it's forever away, but it's actually coming up really fast. So get on that, and we'd love to hear your responses.
Listen, 2020 really sucked. And, you know, we can do this one thing to make 2020 happy right at the end of the year. Let us know what your favorite anime are, and we'll inject like a tiny drop of happiness into 2020 with the little anime poll. So get the hell... you know what? If you don't get over there, you need to
Just do it!
get over there, take the poll, or I'm going to come to your house and feed you a donut.
I was going to say, Mitz, 2020 sucks as he has frosting all over his face after dipping this luscious Krispy Kreme. He's already finished it.
It's
already gone.
It was a big-ass cream-filled one, too. Oh, my God. It was good.
Decimated.
So with that, we want to jump into our big news.
Do it.
おー、大ニュースです。It's time for big news of the week.
I know that I'm about to take my coffee game higher. I think a gift under the tree is probably like a real coffee grinder. You gotta have a real coffee grinder. So, gonna have to up my coffee game. So, just something wild here to start off the show. They're now selling rainbow ramen in Japan. I'm gonna try to put a picture here up on Twitch. I should have prepared this in advance, but I did not. So I'm gonna try to get this sorted. But there's a chain of ramen shops in Hokkaido called Dosanko Ramen, and Dosanko Ramen basically is selling the extremely colorful noodle happy rainbow ramen, which they say will make people feel happy when they eat it, I guess. Really, honestly, I'm interested most to see like if you guys would eat this crap, because it is some wild looking shit.
It looks kind of gross.
It
Not
looks
gonna
faker
lie.
than Lunchables. Like, if you think Lunchables is like, that's a little like too like artificial, this is that times 1,000.
Like, they look plastic.
Yes.
Or Play-Doh.
That's
They
it.
look kind of like Play-Doh.
They're like glistening, shiny
Yeah.
Play-Doh, and I would absolutely put that into my body because there's only 5 a day. They only make 5 a day, so this is high covetous. This is hard
shit.
to get. So yeah, I'd eat that. It's
right, what-
probably not very good, and it probably all dissolves into the broth with like a brown, like disgusting gray mix. So it probably looks terrible after, I don't know, a minute. But
Honestly, like
Whatever.
Chibi Rob said, who's not happy eating ramen? Apparently somebody, like, ramen just wasn't happy enough. They had to, like, essentially cover the top of it in what looks like paint, like colored paint, I guess. But so what's in it? It's a miso broth base of both Hokkaido and Nagano varieties, curry, and cheese fondue sauce, which is what holds the colors. And the rainbow hues are applied to 7 slices of chashu pork, roast pork, which are evenly arranged, like to look like a rainbow. So I guess every slice of pork has like a different flavor, or like has like a different color of whatever the hell they're coloring it with, some kind of food coloring, I guess. And then of course it has vegetables and eggs and the stuff you'd expect. But so you guys would eat this? Yes?
No.
Oh, Mandy's like, no,
I
fuck
I
no.
wouldn't touch it. Mason
would.
would, though.
I think I would try it, but it doesn't look appetizing at all. Particularly in the picture where he's picking up like the noodles with the chopsticks. It just looks like you're eating like green noodles, and I'm like, no, they're not green because they're spinach or something. They're green because there's like a ton of fucking chemicals, like tons of food coloring in this thing. I don't know. It's a little weird, but it costs $13 US. So it's, I don't know.
Which isn't bad if you're getting 7 slices of pork.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty good. Yeah,
it looks terrible. Let's be honest, but it's something.
It's amazing that they can make it. It's amazing that they can make ramen look that good, though. Just like, you would think, oh, rainbow ramen must look like shit. Like, it really does look like a rainbow right across it. So, credit to them for that. Moving on from that, one quick note, something I'm excited about. The Disgaea RPG is coming to Western iOS and Android in spring of 2021. So most people know Disgaea 1 being one of my favorite games of all time. I think it's one of the best strategy RPGs of all time. It's just like this unbelievable blend of anime style, anime characters, humor, just awesome, just cute characters and amazing like grid-based combat. So really hoping for a lot from this. It's a free-to-play mobile game. That's going to come out here. I'm hoping it's going to be just everything I want from Disgaea. Disgaea 6 is actually going to come out here before too long, and hopefully keep the franchise running, but Disgaea RPG is coming out globally here in the spring, so pretty excited about it. So are you guys fans of Disgaea at all? Because, we don't really discuss it, but...
I played a bit of it, but it's been a long time. I got it on Steam maybe 2 years ago. I've been wanting to replay it.
I've played maybe 20 minutes of it, so not enough to form a full opinion. But I remember stylistically, it looks very cool.
I know it never ends.
It really doesn't. Yeah. I think Disgaea 1 and 5, 1, 2, and 5 are the best, I think. So, but that's it from me, guys. Just some fun ramen talk for you, and excited about this RPG coming out of Disgaea. There's also a strategy game of Dragon Quest coming out in the spring, so that could be fun as well. So if you're a fan of Dragon Quest, how about you, Mandy? What do you got this week?
I don't have a lot. I just have something very short because I figured our episode today was going to be packed. So my very quick thing is that the Funimation streaming app has come to Switch, and so if you have a Switch, you can now watch Funimation on it. And I haven't tried it, but some people are saying it's actually better than the streaming app on a lot of other platforms. So that's interesting. But I don't know if it's true because I haven't tried it. But if you want to watch anime on your Switch, you can download the Funimation app.
Why wouldn't you? Really,
Nothing's better than watching or playing games in your bed with the Switch, and to have that anime on it, it's great.
Is Crunchyroll on the Switch? Or is this the first anime one streaming platform?
I
cannot speak to that. I don't know.
But it's like people want to watch anime on the go. So, you have your cell phone, but the Switch screen is so much bigger, Mm-hmm. So why not? It's in your pocket anyway. You might as well just watch anime on it. That would be awesome for an airplane.
Yeah. Oh, Chibi Rob said no Crunchyroll on Switch.
Yeah, I was looking it up.
Boo.
Well, there's no Crunchyroll anyway, so there you go. Crunchyroll's going to be on the Switch now through Funimation.
Now through Funimation.
You're welcome. Nintendo saves anime once again. Thank you.
Oh, dear.
My news also pretty short. I just wanted to bring up all the live action announcements that were released recently. Obviously, the big one is Yu Yu Hakusho. Get a live action adaptation on Netflix.
I want to see them try and have a baby that turns into a handsome teenage boy.
I have my reservations.
Why?
You have young protagonists, which how are those actors going to go? You have special effects and a lot of CG is needed. I wonder if they're going to cut out more of that beginning awkward period that people don't really like. I have no idea what's going to come out of this. It's going to be, I think, a disaster, frankly, but probably a fun one.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see what they do.
My question is, why in the fuck? Why? There's so much better shit that can be done in real live action than fucking Yu Yu Hakusho. Why?
We
Like they
shall
could.
see. We'll
There-
we'll group watch it or something. It'll be a fun time. Join the Discord. I'm
mean,
making it so.
There's like all these great live action properties that are more like down to earth. Like think about like you could do like live action Hajime no Ippo, live action Black Lagoon. They probably already have that somewhere, but I mean, there's whatever. Fuck it, I give up.
I can't wait to see what Hiei's hair looks like. But don't you want to see what they do with Koenma? Because it'd be really funny
I'm
and
trying.
very
I'm
awkward.
correcting.
I don't know what to say about it.
There's also a live action film of Tokyo Revengers, which is a manga that's also getting an anime next year. Interested to see how that goes.
That's
I don't know
the
if you read
second
anything
time
of that.
I've ever seen something with the word Revengers in it.
Hopefully the last time.
Revengers Resemble. That's a sequel. And the other one is a live action homunculus film based on the classic manga, which I've read a good bit of and probably should finish. I've heard really good things about it, so that will be interesting as well. So those are the three big live actions probably worth keeping your eye on for the future.
I don't know. They should just get through the Cowboy Bebop one, and then we'll talk about Yu Hakusho. So.
Wait till a live action Hunter x Hunter comes out.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna die.
I mean, would you be excited for that?
No, but it'd be really funny.
I don't know
just
if-
have to see certain casting choices.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm less excited for Yu Yu Hakusho or a hypothetical Hunter x Hunter. I don't know which would be worse. Yeah, I don't
Both.
know. I don't know.
All right, guys. Well, we did a survey this year for Christmas. Mandy, you want to kick us off on our Christmas party discussion?
Oh, sure. So yeah, we sent out a survey for all of our listeners to fill out, and we had a bunch of questions that were Christmas related on there that you all filled out, and thank you so much for everyone who participated. And we had a lot of submissions, so we probably won't get to read everybody's, but we picked out
No.
our favorite answers from all of them, and we have some of our own answers as we get to them. So I don't know, how do you guys want to do this? You want to just take turns reading the answers, or
I just kind of want to go through the survey, and then like if you want to like offer your own personal input on any of the questions, like that will probably be fun.
oh sure.
So
our questions, the first question that we had was, what would you like to get for Christmas for yourself? So I don't know. What would you guys like? What would you like to have for Christmas if you could have anything?
Anything or a realistic thing? Because
I know that's what is hard for me.
the responses we got were pretty split. We had some people that were just like, "Oh, I want the Dominator from Psycho Pass," or like my own house shaped like a bear from like
That was really funny.
Kuma Kuma Bear by Smoke a Few and put it that. I'm like, so that was one side, and then we got like realistic things. So I guess if I were to go for like realism, I'd want a Gal and Dino shirt. I think that would brighten my day every time I wore it. That big old goofy dino on it, that would be amazing.
You have a dinosaur on your shirt today.
I know, but I want another one. Dinosaurs are the best, and there's not enough good anime with them. I'm putting my foot down. I want more dinosaur anime too.
When is Steel Ball Run coming?
Yeah, that actually, unironically, I watched You Are Umaso. This like it's like a decade old thing about a dinosaur. It's amazing. Go watch it if you can find it. Sorry, enough about dinos. Dino talk over.
I don't really personally. I don't really know what I like. And I guess, man, I really want that fucking Ghibli cell, the one that was framed. But it's like
Yeah.
$3,000. I mean, I don't know. It's just too much fiscal waste. I don't know. I'm too responsible to like buy. I mean, like I did buy that one cell from Golden Boy, but like there's a big difference between like $3,000 and then like the normal amount you spend for a cell, even if it is Ghibli. So, but at some point in my life, I want to own a Ghibli cell, like a nice one. Just because Ghibli is like so important, but to me at least. But I really don't know. Like the things I want for Christmas are boring. Like I want a coffee grinder, like a nice one. I have like this little shitty coffee grinder that doesn't even remotely grind the coffee well. I want to get the side mirror in my Kia fixed because I destroyed the side mirror in my Kia this morning pulling out of my garage. I just blew it, like almost knocked it completely off the car.
Damn.
So now I
That's
gotta
probably
get.
the most depressing, like, wishful gift. A side mirror for a Kia.
I don't know. When you're in your 30s, it's like, what do you fucking want for Christmas? Like, I don't know. Like,
To be in your 20s?
yeah. I want my back. I want my lower back to not hurt. Like, I have a heat pack on my lower back right now because it's like, you know, I just want to wake up with no bodily pain. Can we have that for Christmas? I'm so sorry. Stephen S. Donnelly from our.
Wait, I want to hear what Mandy wants.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
I thought you went, Mandy. Go ahead. Tell.
No, I didn't say anything yet.
Brighten up our
Um,
day.
I don't know. I still want Green Island. So if somebody wants to gift me Green Island, I'm just saying I would accept it.
Just fucking do it. Someone do this. Someone make this happen for her, please. For God's sake, make
It's
it
what,
happen.
$400?
That's a lot.
I always guessed the price wrong. For
It's
like
like
a month, I was like,
200,
oh, it's $100.
I think.
Oh, it's
It
200?
depends.
Depends.
It's a lot. So, and I really want that whole collection that they have of Legend of the Galactic Heroes, the OVA. I want that so bad. That's even more expensive. It's like $700.
Is that like that like black and blue like triangular case?
Yeah, it comes in the
Yeah.
big case. I want that, but I'll never own it. So, yeah, that's what I want.
But yeah, our favorites from the listeners submitted, and these are, like I said, not even close to all of them, and these are just a couple that we picked.
No, I mean, there's like
so many good ones.
like 50 plus responses to every question. It's like we can't read them all, but we do love all of you guys for submitting, for sure. So
yeah, Cryleaf wanted some Bucciarati themed JoJo suit, and Gachimon also wanted some JoJo swag. So I guess JoJo fashion accessories are like a big thing. I remember they came out with those like Vans like a year ago for like part 5, and those looked really cool and sold out like instantly. So those would be cool.
S. Donnelly said that the ultimate dream would be a robotic Nishinoya from Haikyuu that could return every ball I hit at him right back, so that he could have endless entertainment and practicing. Oh,
that's cool.
But more realistically, Haikyuu socks.
Oh,
We can probably think
a
of
better
little
than
bit
socks.
easier.
Haikyuu socks is probably doable.
David Bowe wrote a bowl with a Legend of Galactic Heroes design on it. I would want all the main characters to appear on it. I don't think that exists, but we can make it happen.
Just a little bit of pottery, a little bit of paint. Good as
Yeah,
new.
that'd be cool.
Gorgrind Goku, I think he's already talked about this in the Discord, and we demand photos when it happens, but
Oh, yeah.
he was promised a tattoo for Christmas, so he's expecting to have a new Krona tattoo. So we'll see how that looks. And I think my favorite reply from Seth was, all they want is a friend with similar anime tastes.
Oh,
Oh, it's so sweet.
that's so cute.
You have us. Well, maybe similar. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, close enough.
But
By our
we'll
powers
be happy
combined.
to talk. Yeah, we'll be happy to talk to you though. And some of the other ones that are like fantasy questions, like our answers, Mason already said from Smoke a Few, my house shaped like a bear, which I thought was really funny. And Kiryu Christian wrote the Dominator from Psychopaths, and then also ADD Theater wrote as Studio Ghibli style.
I put that in fantasy just to stick
Ugh.
it to Mitz, because it's never gonna happen.
It's not even a
Yeah,
fantasy.
Actually,
Like
will. We're just egging him on.
it's not even a fantasy. Like for like $100 a month for like 2.5 years, you can get it. Like I don't know, but like, do you want to spend $100 a month for 2 years? Like I don't know, probably not. Maybe that is a fantasy. It's a bummer.
The next question that we had was, what were some of your past Christmas experiences, whether they're good or terrible? So I don't know if I have any like big Christmas stories. My Christmases are always usually really, really small, which is just my immediate family, so we don't have anything like crazy.
Yeah, pretty uneventful over here. A lot of waking up earlys, like obnoxiously early, waking
Yeah.
up the parents, opening presents, and that was also like the one day a year we got to like have unfettered like video game access. So like Christmas in my mind is always like, that's video game day. So
I forgot, like a few, I think it was like 5 or 6 years ago. My mom at that time was in the hospital. She had a liver transplant, and so she was stuck in the hospital for a while. And so we went over there, but and like this sounds sad. I promise I'm not trying to make this a sad story, but she was kept in a medical coma at the time. So we went over there, but we couldn't really like have Christmas with her. So afterwards, my sister and I were like, "Well, what can we do?" And we went and watched Krampus in theaters.
Why?
I don't know. We were like, "What can we watch?" We're like, "That's Christmas themed. Let's go watch it." So it was dumb. That's my funny story.
I think like for me, Christmas is more about like the time leading up to Christmas. So I think like my fond memories are like the decorations beforehand, listening to like we had like this is just like really specific, but we had like a Christmas tree ornament that like you plugged into one of the lights and it would like move. So like just listening to the hum of like the Christmas tree ornament, just like the like little like music box type things that play Christmas music in your house. And just like I don't know, the atmosphere of like the tree and having like lights like on your mantle in your living room or whatever. I think are like more important memories to me than like actually Christmas like day itself. Just like sort of just the ambiance leading up to it. So,
Yeah, for sure. Getting the tree was always big in my household because we would actually go out and like chop one down.
damn.
So this was like
Holy
this was
shit.
like a full day affair.
Mason,
Like,
the lumberjack family.
seriously,
Hell yeah.
we would wake up in the morning, drive like 3 hours to like the farm, like in the snow, like walk up and down for like an hour, finding the perfect one, get out a saw, take it down, get
Holy
it to the
shit,
tractor,
dude.
shake it out.
Damn.
And actually what we do, I think I might have said this before, but we actually cut out like an inch or so extra cut into the bottom when you make the base for a fresh cut. And we actually would burn images into that to make ornaments out of them, like kind of summarizing last year. Anyway, so that's a big ordeal, putting the tree up and all the lights. It's amazing. But I think there's a big transition that happens like in college when you're actually like away from home, when Christmas goes from being about the presents to, oh, this is an excuse to see family again. And I think that's like when you're like, oh yeah, Christmas is actually pretty darn cool. And probably it's a chance to see people, and I might happen to get some socks with it. So now it's a pretty good time.
All right, let's blow through some of these Christmas submissions from people so we can because we got a lot of stuff here. So we did have some like new things pop up as far as like people's favorite Christmas anime, because almost always like Toradora and Tokyo Godfathers are like at the top of the list, and that was the same this year. But this time there were some others that were kind of there a few times. Like there were several people said Dr. Stone's Christmas episode, which was like the one where they lit the tree up. So there were some submissions for the Gintama Christmas episode. K-On! Yeah, there's probably like, what, 5 of them? Because it's so long.
That's what I made our image today for the podcast thumbnail.
Oh, right, yeah. K-On! Episode 7, Ping Pong Episode 6. So these are just like, is that last one like missing? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just some like good examples for you guys to like check out. Obviously like Tokyo Godfathers is like probably like the most like Christmassy Christmas thing you could watch, I guess, from anime maybe, but it's kind of overplayed at this point. How about you guys? Is there any other specific thing you guys like anime Christmas episodes? Because personally, like, I don't know. I don't have much because there's not that many Christmas things from anime.
Yeah, the Gintama ones are pretty good.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the ping pong one. That's a great selection. But also, just because we read it for Manga Club, the little OVA for Saint Youngmen, that has the Christmas episode as part of it, and that's really enjoyable. So check that out.
Christmas anime themed Christmas ornaments. So I thought that was kind of fun. Someone's got a Kakashi. Bridge to Valhalla has a Kakashi and a Santa hat sitting in their Christmas tree. So that sounds fun.
Cammy said, I am hanging some miniature anime figures from my fake tree and have a collection of Sailor Scouts and their Santa dresses, and that's super adorable, and I want them.
And then we have 2 different Ghibli ones. Louis the Cat has a My Neighbor Totoro car freshener that they put in the tree, because that's a nice touch. And Cryleaf has a no-face sitting on a swing Christmas ornament. So I could see a lot of Ghibli crossover stuff in their merch.
Yeah, I
So-
have a lot of Totoro Christmas ornaments that I used to hang from my tree when I could put up a tree. Now that I have ferrets, I can't put it up anymore.
Oh my God.
It just becomes a disaster.
What would happen, Mandy?
It becomes
They
a world's
knock it
biggest
over.
domino.
Yes. They will be up it and it'll be knocked over on my table somewhere.
Someone said they have a Mario. Mike said he has a Mario Star tree topper. I thought that was kind of cute.
That is cool.
I like
I can
that
see
idea.
that.
Couple Christmas stories. Da Yokai wrote a pretty long one that I thought was kind of fun, kind of cute, so I wrote it. Yeah, so the question was like, do you have any like heartwarming or like disastrous Christmas stories? Because everybody has like both, I think. He said this is a mix of both. My parents had recently separated at the time, so it meant I had 2 Christmases that year and into the future. On Christmas morning, me and my siblings would have breakfast and open gifts with our mom and spend the evening with our dad. Christmas morning, I had gotten the full Inuyasha DVD collection. That's a lot of fucking DVDs.
Yeah.
Holy heaven. From including the movies and the final act from my mother, which warmed my heart because she always laughed at me for liking anime. The disaster part of the story is that when I had opened one of my presents from my dad, he got me the exact same thing. It was
my
funny.
gosh.
It was funny because it showed how little my parents communicated, but it was also heartwarming because Inuyasha was the first anime I ever watched, and that was because my dad is a major weeb.
Oh, that's sweet.
So I thought that was cute. So thanks for writing that. And then I have one more here. Matthew's Pikachu said, I just thought this was funny. Matthew's Pikachu said that he bought his wife Pokemon cards and she was not pleased for Christmas.
Why? I'd be happy.
I mean, come on.
I'll take those Pokemon cards. S. Donnelly wrote, my mom gets me and my siblings little arts and crafts every year. It is said that we're all 23 and up, assuming they will be funny, but every time we set aside the entire day to do all of our dollar store crafts together, rather than anything else. Every time we set aside the entire day to do all of our dollar store crafting. It's silly, but always nice to be together during doing that rather than separating off for the day. I thought that was really sweet. I think just doing crafts with your family is kind of cute.
Especially like really cheap, like kitschy ones.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There were some other like fun stories. I have them like highlighted in the doc, but like someone said that their tradition is to go basically get hammered at the bar before Christmas Eve. And the long and short is that someone got offended by my family dressed as Santa and his elves and picked a fight with us, and that they're never allowed back in the bar. Stuff like that. It's just crazy. Oh my gosh. There's so many submissions. We can't read them all, but like it was fun to read all the thoughts. So I don't know. I personally, I just want to make like gingerbread cookies before, like on Christmas Eve. Like that's what I want to do. I just want to smell things and enjoy. Anything
What was everyone's favorite cookie for Santa?
Oh, I know. So I had like a poll that I put up, and let me see if I can find the poll question here. I thought I put as many Christmas cookies as I could think of in the poll. So I had gingerbread men, iced sugar with Christmas shapes. I didn't know what they were called, but like there's like those weird like cornflake wreaths that are green with like the red hots people do. You know what I'm talking about? You guys ever had those?
No.
No.
What the hell? They look like little they're like little ring shapes. Like people put like marshmallows in with cornflakes, and then they color them green and they shape them like a wreath. Oh my gosh, I have to look this up and show you. Pizzelles, which are like those flat snowflake cookies, shortbread rum balls, dipped ginger snaps, snickerdoodles, and Linzer tarts were like the ones I put on the list. But easily, well, number 3, the third place was snickerdoodles. We have drops for this shit. What am I doing here? Number 3.
Number 3.
Snickerdoodles got number 3 with 13%, which I don't even. Snickerdoodles are okay, I guess.
Number 2.
Very offended. Gingerbread men came in second, with 17%. Come on, people. How can gingerbread men get second? And then number 1.
Number 1.
Iced sugar cookies. I mean, they're pretty
I'd
good.
rather have the gingerbread men.
Me
honestly.
too. I mean, it's fair, I guess, but like iced sugar cookies is like an anytime thing, right? sort
Yeah.
of.
These are Christmas shapes.
I know, but come on, man. All right. Who did this next question?
I put this one in. I asked,
Okay.
fruitcake is either A, pleasant, delightful, delicious, tasty, B, disgusting, nasty, awful, horrible, or C, something I've never tried. Because I've never had fruitcake, and I've long heard rumors about how deceptive it might be, despite having the goodness of fruit and the greatness of cake together in one horrific abomination. And I wanted to know what the listeners thought of it. And 42% of you said you've never had it, and 40% of you said it was disgusting and awful, which means less than 20% even remotely find it enjoyable. So seems to be the consensus that it's bad.
I've
Well, what
never
do you-
had a fruitcake, so I don't know.
What do you think, Mason?
I've never had it. I was curious.
Oh, okay. It's just such a Mason question. It just comes out of nowhere. It's just, oh my god! All right,
Have you had it, Mitz?
I don't. Is fruitcake like the little? Is it like a cake with fruit in it, or is it like the jelly molds with like fruit?
Mason doesn't know.
It's think of like a zucchini or banana bread, like small and compact, I think. I don't know. I haven't had it. Seems awful. I'll try it.
Oh yeah, I've had this. Yeah, I've had this. I mean, it's just I don't know. It's fine. Like it just basically it's basically like banana bread with fucking fruit in it. But why don't you just have banana bread or
I don't
pound cake? Like it's the same concept. Just I know. You know what? Fuck fruitcake. No, but what? Get this out of here.
You went from it's pretty fine to
Just fuck it. Like why do you?
screw it.
We don't need so many types of cake, okay? Just like I mean, just go eat your banana bread and be happy. Jeez.
Let's move on to these
Yeah.
hotter questions.
Yeah, they're hot.
Yeah. So, what anime character do you guys think would be the best Santa and pass out the best presents?
People clearly latched on to like the speed concept. So there were a lot of Gokus in the answers. Like he was like, Goku would use instant transmission. But like Goku's so fucking dumb. Like he doesn't know how to do anything. He can't even like he can barely function in public. So how is he gonna like go gift shopping? Can you imagine?
Oh, a lot of people said Reagan and Ma, but I'm thinking, Reagan, really? He gets you the cheapest present possible.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah, Ma would do such a good job. He'd put his heart into it.
Reagan would give you a bunch of fake presents.
No, Ma would like transport Reagan to the house, and he would just like eat up the cookies
Yeah,
and forget the present.
and leave you a bill.
I like how a lot of people like put in a lot of like scheming, like big brain characters, like Light Yagami from Death Note, or Senku from Dr. Stone, or Nana from Talentless Nana. Like all these people who like have the wits to like, map out how to actually deliver it, even if they don't have the physical capability. But I thought that was a nice alternative.
Me, I said Psyche from Psyche K. Because he can read your mind, and he can just, like, make it appear somewhere.
Yeah, all you would get is pudding, though.
That's true. That's why but it's pretty good. It's better than nothing.
I liked this submission from Capsule J, who wrote, a sweet JP from Redline. He could drive the sleigh to all the kids' houses so fast. And the second choice is Char from Mobile Suit Gundam, because he always looks good in red and always makes sure people get what they deserve. It's like, okay.
But what about you? What do you think?
Me?
Yeah.
I think I'd have to side with, like, some people wrote Bulma. I think Bulma would be a great gift giver because she's just like, she would just give you like a capsule and you would just throw it and it would be like a motorcycle. Like, she's just like, because she's so, I don't know. There's a lot of moments in Dragon Ball where Bulma just like busts out like incredible things. So, or like, and plus Bulma's so cool. But, I would like to hang out with Bulma for like one evening. That would be neat.
But people also voted on which of us would be the best Santa. And handedly, Mitz won with 46.3% of the vote. So,
Okay, if you say so.
You're feeling the spirit?
I mean,
You got the scheming. That's the big brain thing. You are always on time. You won't miss the deadline. You'd be a good Santa.
yeah, I mean, I don't know, I guess. As long as I don't have to foot the bill for the presents myself. I
No, you
guess
have
we-
elves to make them for you.
Got it. Yeah.
Did you
okay,
have
sure.
an anime character, Mason?
I didn't, because I looked at the results before I came up with my own. But someone wrote cat bus, and I thought that was a pretty good idea too, because it always delivers.
It's true.
It's true.
The next one was the early bird detective, who's downstairs under the tree before Christmas starts, shaking the presents to try and figure out what's inside of them. So, my favorite one from our listeners was Inosuke from Demon Slayer, just because he wants to challenge Santa as soon as he comes down the chimney. And I also like Gon and Killua, because absolutely Gon and Killua. I think for me, my own answer was both Kaguya and Shirogane, because they're trying to figure out what the other person what they got each other.
That's smart.
And who got the most expensive present, because they don't want to feel like it's like a love confession.
Honestly, though, they probably wouldn't ever give them to each other, because they'd be like, "Well, I can't
No,
give
they'd be too
them the
embarrassed.
present first, because if I give
Yeah.
it first, that means I expect a present in return, and but if I don't, and they'll probably just give it to, I don't know, Shinigami. The boy needs more presents. I forgot his name. You know who I'm talking about.
Ishigami.
Yeah, Ishigami. Thank you. A lot of people wrote Yui from K-On! Because she did that in the show where she like
Oh, did she?
goes early. Yeah. So that's a good one. I also like the Inosuke one from Nuclear Burger.
Just like all of like the hyper characters that just can't sit still would be the ones that would like just shake everything violently and break all the presents inside. Like Excel from Excel Saga would just destroy everything. She'd just shake it until it was broken.
Yeah, originally I wrote this question with the idea of like, oh, who's like the detective? Who thinks they are like smart enough to figure out? And everyone's like, no, who is the most like impatient, Luffy-esque villain or character who's just gonna get in there and can't wait? So I like all these ideas.
How about
What
for
about
us,
the
though?
host?
Yeah, who won this ball?
Mandy did a little bit close, but with 39.6% of the vote, the detective reigns supreme.
Well, Mandy's like the sleuth, right? She's always like
Exactly
watching the detective shows and being all about the mysteries. So
Yeah.
perfect. Oh boy, worst wrapped gifts. Some of these were funny. We had Cammy wrote a submission to Gigi from Kiki's Delivery Service, because it's tough to wrap presents with no hands. I mean,
Oh, cat wrapping.
y'all are mean. So many people put like Hyakimaru from Dororo like at the beginning when he had like puppet like stiff wooden hands.
That's messed up. That's fucked
That
up.
was funny.
Oh
my
my
favorite was Hisoka, because he's too sticky. That's so stupid.
A lot of other people wrote like characters that wouldn't do a bad job rapping because they're unskilled, but just because like they wouldn't care enough, like Levi or Taiga or Jotaro. Like they all are just like characters that just like, who needs to rap it? Just be thankful I got you anything.
They just punch you in the face.
Yeah. Craftimus said Vegeta probably wouldn't even rap it. He would probably just throw it at you.
It's not wrong.
Yeah.
Of the hosts, Mitz, convincingly, 68% people think that you are the worst rapper of gifts.
Why? I wrap all my gifts. Come on.
You
now.
put them in bags.
No, I mean, I have a tree downstairs, and
Nice.
I can prove it. I can take this camera over this ledge and show you the tree. But
Do you put your presents under the tree early?
will this camera even like reach over this ledge? It probably won't.
Behind the scenes.
You can't. No, I don't think it'll reach.
No.
It's got too far
And
to
before
travel.
he drops it down the stairs.
It's got too far to travel to get to the over this little ledge. But yeah, I mean, there's gifts under the tree right now.
We always we always do it, do it right, quote unquote. You go to bed and you wake up and then there's gifts. You don't get to open any presents early. That's blasphemy.
I mean, it's just me and my girlfriend here, and like honestly, our place is not that big, so there's not that many places to like hide stuff. So, plus my mom sent like a ton of gifts, bless her heart, and so like I don't know what's on all these packages, but there's nowhere to hide this stuff. So,
Been
but
talking about Inuyasha a lot recently. Maybe you got two presents of that.
I do wrap my gifts though. I put bows on them. Maybe it's not always like the prettiest wrapping. I'm better than Vegeta.
Yeah, if I had to say an anime character, I was going to say Tanaka-kun, because he passed out in the middle of it.
Well, no, because then he would just have his friend do it for him, and he would do a great job of it.
True.
That's a good suggestion.
What's
Next is who burned dinner, which
Uh-oh.
is who's most likely to get in a fight over dinner, I think, and like throw a turkey leg. Is that what it was?
I think so, yeah.
I think that was the prompt. And you were once again voted the most likely to ruin dinner with your shenanigans, your rambunctiousness. What do you have to say for yourself, Mitz?
I think Mandy should win this one. Like, she was lobbying for it. She said, she was like, I'll stab a fucker. I'll take a turkey leg and stab you with it.
I did that on our Discord, yeah.
I mean,
I'd stab someone with a turkey leg.
I mean, she was lobbying for it, you know. So I mean, I don't think I don't. Listen, I just want Christmas to be peaceful and relaxing, and it often isn't, right? Let's be honest. But like, I want it to be just relaxing. So I'm not going to be causing any fights. Come on now.
I'm too busy eating. I don't know what's going on. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, because the question was who would be most likely to stab somebody with a turkey leg, my favorite answer was Ash Ketchum. Pidgeot, I choose you. That made me laugh.
My favorite response is 2 people put Edward Elric because he'd probably start up a fuss if someone like talked about his height or like talked about milk. Wanpom and Moral talked about that. A lot of people wrote Bakugo because also a bit of a loose cannon. I liked someone wrote Thorkel because he's just always ready for a fight.
He's always ready for a fight, yeah.
And Corone78 put Toriko because if the turkey isn't like properly seasoned, he'd throw a fit because he's the chef supreme.
Mine, for someone who would like absolutely destroy Christmas dinner, I said Ote from Gintama. Nobody said Ote. She like when she cooks things, people literally die.
Yeah.
And then she would start a fight if you like insult her cooking.
Cooking with air quotes around it.
Yeah.
Someone wrote Goku because he was asked to be a real father for once in his goddamn life. And that was pretty good. He's like, I don't want to sit at this table. I know there's a lot of they were like 10 Goku and Vegeta just fighting with each other, just submissions. People, I don't know. I feel like you get a sense for like which characters are the most like beloved when you do polls like this, because the ones that pop up a lot are the ones that are obviously on people's minds. So there's like a ton of like Steins Gate and Haikyuus and Gintamas and Dragon Balls and and JoJo's. So
yeah.
How
about
the last one for this list was who is the most likely to get drunk on eggnog and just be passed out under the tree, I think it was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And once again, with 63% of the vote, Mitsugi is our winner.
Why? These are not prizes you want to win. Why am I winning all the fucking bad things? I can't wrap gifts. This is like, here we go, ready? I can't wrap gifts. I'm gonna cause a fight and burn down the house after I stab you in the throat with a chicken leg. And then I'm gonna get drunk and pass out under the tree, and probably just defecate everywhere too. Let's just like put that one there too. I'm gonna shit in a box and give that to you. So
but you're the best Santa.
Exactly, you're busy being Santa. You can't expect him to be perfect everywhere else.
I mean, I'm gonna destroy Christmas.
Mitz, people just think of you when they think of Christmas. That's clearly what it means.
They do. Well, okay.
As for audience responses, a lot of love for Kana from Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail is getting a lot of responses throughout this poll, but no more often than on this one, where I guess I have not seen Kana, but I guess she's a heavy alcoholic, if I had to guess.
No, she does. She's like these gigantic barrels of like ale or whatever. She like literally just chugs them. They're like bigger than her entire body, and she just like lifts it up and like chugs them. My favorite was, a lot of people said Gintoki, which is absolutely true, but my own personal answer was Yang Wenlei. He'd be passed out under the tree, just drunk.
Yeah, but he'd be on brandy.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Maybe eggnog.
Brandy goes in eggnog, right? Maybe? Question mark?
I think you could put brandy in eggnog. I think normally it's rum, spiced rum, probably.
Yeah.
But I think the most common response was Misato from Ava. I think she appeared like probably close to 10 times in this. I had to count them out. And then Miss Kobayashi popped up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, and so did Revy. So, lots of the characters that just drank way too fucking much. So,
But now it's time for the best part of this whole survey.
Yes.
The Secret Santa giveaway, where you guys came up with fantasy gifts that you would give to us if you were our Secret Santa. Why don't we start with Mitz? What were your favorites?
well, I would say that 20%, almost 20% of all the answers involved Monster Energy in some capacity. So I'm gonna have to go get one of those on the news break. But it was like a palette of pink monsters. We had someone said Monster on Blu-ray, which I guess is not what I really meant. Birthday drink when you combine a whole bunch of Gatorade, Monster, Red Bull, Pixie Sticks. This person's just trying to kill me. Unlimited supply of Monster. A Monster sponsorship with a Monster vending machine. Like, I don't know. I'm making an impression. I think we need to get paid. My personal favorites that weren't monsters were, someone said a holographic fireplace that cycles through overlaid pictures of Moe girls in the background, so I could have
That's really good.
That's
Could have-
amazing.
could have my own Moe pit of hell. That was from Cammy. Thank you. And Capsule J wrote a high-end pompadour cosplay. High-end pompadour cosplay wig for living out his Yankee boy dreams. Well, yeah, we couldn't get fucking Kazuo to do it, even though he totally could grow a pompadour and probably wouldn't even look bad with it. But now I'm bald. Now I'm bald as shit, so I'm further away than ever from a pompadour.
Well, my answers were hilarious. And I love them. Thank you so much, everybody. Most of them, look, 80% of mine were Hisoka related.
Yeah, a lot. Boy, a lot.
It's really funny. Some of my favorites in that were let me see. 5 different people said a Hisoka body pillow. One person said a 6-foot tall showering Hisoka figure. Another person said a Hisoka butt mouse pad. Someone else said Hisoka's actual underwear, which is really gross and funny at the same time.
You gotta wait for the live action before you can get that.
Yeah. And someone else said the Hisoka shirtless scene cell, animation cell, which I don't think would probably maybe, because Greed Island was not cell animated in the original, and the original like the butt scene from the 2011 wasn't in the original anime, so I don't know. There is one scene, but it's like a flash. But after that, 2 people said a hospital scale, so you guys think you're really funny. By the way,
you still have it?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I still have it, and the mystery has been solved. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it was on a Hobby Addicts. Or no, sorry, it was an After Party episode where I mysteriously got a hospital scale and didn't know where it came from. The mystery has been solved. I'll talk about it in Hobby or on After Party after this.
Okay, I'm curious about whether or not they're just gonna say fuck it and just let you keep it or not. Okay.
2 people said Greed Island, and one person said Greed Island set and Ferret Treats. Azalet, which I thought was really cute, said the Heroes Feast physical edition. It's like a D&D cookbook, and I've actually looked at that and I was like, that's kind of a cool thing, because they have like really big feasts that you can cook in there. 2 people said the Neil Armstrong Cyclone Jet Armstrong Cannon, which is the Gintama way of just saying a dick, so thank you. And 2 people said a giant Nyanko Sensei plushie, which I do have one. It's up there somewhere, but I think there are bigger ones. Mine's pretty big though. And Cammy said also the Nyanko Sensei bedspread, which does actually exist. So thank you for everybody. All of your suggestions were really funny.
Whenever I think of the Neil Armstrong Cyclone Jet cannon,
Armstrong cannon.
I always think of like the episode in the snow, like the 30-foot tall mock-up of it. That's, to me, that's what always comes to mind.
It's great because everybody thinks it's a dick, and they're like, "Oh, the Neil Armstrong Cyclone Jet Armstrong Cannon. Mm-hmm. It's a really nice model." I love Gintama.
I love all of the submissions you guys gave for me. Obviously, the big one that I received was a lot of food-related things. We had hot sauces, snack boxes, a bathtub full of ramen, pizza, sushi, John's famous food, gift cards. One person said salt. I don't know if that was to season my food or because they think I'm salty. And Louis the Cat said
Both.
bug snacks, which I'm assuming you mean the greatest video game ever, as you know from our after parties. But
Stop it.
that's also food related. Someone asked or would give me an ornate Bearstein so I could look fancy even when drinking water from Capsule J. Someone said that I would appreciate coal for its utility. Fun fact, one of my cousins actually did receive coal once on a gift exchange.
Wow.
Got termed by my grandma. My grandma gave my cousin coal.
Oh my
Brutal grandma.
God,
It
that's
was
fucked up.
amazing. It was amazing.
Holy shit.
I could tell that story later.
You should.
Lalos TG said the Ebisu shark costume from Dora
Cute.
Hedoro. It's been my dream for years to be, what was it, left shark from the Super Bowl? Was that who it was, Mitz? I forget if it was left or right shark, but yeah, I would definitely wear that every single episode.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I'd make a great shark or a dinosaur, as I've talked about earlier. And obviously, at the end, lots of Tatami Galaxy merch from the Mochi Gumin, Converses, Castellas, and the last one, an anime that I can rate a 5 out of 5. So I thought all of those were stupendous. So thank you, everybody, for participating and all the clever options. So I didn't have to think of anything. And we only touched on a brief bit of them, but it filled me with so much joy reading these. So thank you.
Yeah, and it was short notice too, so you guys like always come to you always answer the call, when it's like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? I know, let's have let's get the listeners involved as much as we humanly can, and when we do that, good things usually happen. So yeah, big thanks. So and I really hope everybody has a great holiday. So it's been a tough year, so I hope everyone finds like some relaxation, at a minimum over the holiday. So, whatever it is, like if you're just like, whatever your relaxation is, like if it's curled up next to a fire, just like playing an RPG, or if you're just going to like lay in bed and watch an anime, if you're going to if you're at home and you can like make cookies or something with your family, or, whatever you do, just like make it count, like we all deserve a good holiday, after like, a tough year. So, just make it count and in whatever way you can, just enjoy yourself. So that's what I hope for everybody. That's what I want for everybody. I just want everyone to have a good relaxing, 3 or 4 days. So
yeah.
Okay.
And with that, we will jump into our news break and leave you with a very difficult question.
Very difficult.
Back in 2013, on episode 206 of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast, Roku changed the world when he sang the podcast's very own 12 Days of Sausage. How many of the 12 days can you name? We'll let you know in just a few. Stay tuned.
O poor lost soul, the moe filth hath infected your soul. May the power of sausage compel ye! Hey, all you anime addicts, Mitsuki is here, and I'm bringing you some anime news. Starting us off with some YouTube news. It looks like YouTube has reported in its trends report for 2020 that virtual YouTubers, or VTubers, have grown to about 1.5 billion views per month by October 2020. That's a pretty staggering amount of people watching VTubers. According to the survey, 47% of viewers are open to watching content from creators or characters who are fictional or virtual. We've all seen the virtual pop idols on YouTube, and it looks like they're becoming very popular in widespread fashion. So we'll have to keep track of this trend as time passes. Next up, a couple of new anime adaptation announcements. The manga Platinum End is getting a TV adaptation for the fall of 2021. Director Hideya Takahashi of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5 and Keijo is going to be directing at Studio Signal MD. The synopsis of the property is after the death of his parents, Mirai is left in the care of abusive relatives, and he is rescued by a pure white girl named Nase, who introduces herself as a guardian angel, wishing to give him happiness and granting him supernatural powers and a chance to become the new god. But in order to do so, Mirai must defeat 12 other candidates within 999 days. So there is going to be some battle royale type action unfolding. So pretty interesting little plot synopsis of Platinum End getting that adaptation in fall 2021. Next up, another manga getting an anime adaptation in 2021. Shumatsu no Valkyrie, or Record of Ragnarok, is going to be getting an adaptation by Warner Brothers Japan. So it looks like the synopsis: high above the realm of man, the gods of the world have convened to decide on a single matter: the continued existence of mankind. Under the head of Zeus, the deities of ancient Greece, Norse mythology, and Hinduism, among others, can assemble every 1,000 years to decide the fate of humanity. Because of their relenting abuse towards each other and the planet, the time the gods vote unanimously in favor of ending the human race may be coming. The director Masao Kubo of Pre-Para, the movie Saint Seiya Omega, and other properties at Studio Graphinica. So these anime studios just keep popping up out of nowhere, as I've never heard of Graphinica. So if you're a fan of these mythological sort of god stories, look out for the Record of Ragnarok coming out in 2021. And rounding out the news this week, Cyberpunk 2077 may be one of the worst video game launches that's ever happened. And putting a little bit of weight behind that statement, the PlayStation Store has, in what is largely an unprecedented case for a game of this magnitude, has removed the game from the PlayStation Store after a just tragic release of an unfinished game on PlayStation 4 and Xbox as well. So I myself know that how badly the game runs on PlayStation. This quite literally never happens on the PlayStation Store. It's extremely rare for really any game to be taken down. But as buggy games are released all the time, and it still doesn't seem to prompt them being removed. So if you are a fan of Cyberpunk 2077, well, it's not doing so hot. You might want to wait a little while before picking up the game again on last generation. This was Mitsuki, and this was your anime news break. And now, as always, time to get back to the podcast right now.
Hey there, listeners! We just wanted to take a second and thank you for all of your support. We have received requests for additional ways that you can help support us, and we really appreciate every bit of it. We wanted to come up with ways that we can also help give back, and so we decided that for the first 3 months of 2021, half of all of our additional support that we receive will be donated to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. And many of you may already know this, or if you're new to the podcast, I was born with cystic fibrosis. And the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation is a donor-funded, nonprofit organization that helps fund research for drugs that will help people like me live a longer life. So if you want more information on that, you can check out the cff.org website. And again, we appreciate all of your support. You're awesome, and thank you so much for listening.
Welcome back to the podcast, guys. Way back in 2013 on episode 206, it's like 350 podcasts ago, Rocco changed the world when he sang the podcast's very own 12 Days of Sausage. So those of you that have been around long enough to remember that. Thanks for sticking with us for 7 years or 8 years. How many of the 12 days can you name? Rather than merely just giving you the answers, I'm actually going to play the original clip from years ago. This was requested by one of the prominent members of our Discord, Key to You Christian. So if you do join our Discord and make requests, we do listen. So I'm going to play this for you with a little bit of like an added some music in the background, but real tough because Rocco didn't really stick to the song entirely. But here it is, Rocco's 12 Days of Sausage. I want to take us back in time to relive something that Rocco brought to us in a very special time, our second Christmas episode. So let's sit back and enjoy the sultry tones of Rocco's 12 Days of Sausage.
Over Christmas, Hana, Kwanzaa, St. Rocco gave to me 12 maids a milking, 11 schoolgirls bobbing, 10 dead men a slaughtering, 9 cockerels a clawing, 8 Miris enraging, 7 Chiantis glaring, 6 Boston cream pies baking, 5 Mitsugis whining, 4 Kimikos a cackling, 3 tentacles a thrusting, 2 bouncing bosoms, and a stocking full of sausage! And I'll take my bow.
There it is.
Classic.
So
It rhymes so well.
So I appreciated the recognition of Chris Mahana Kwanzaa. That was very nice. So good old Rocco, rest his soul. So he's not actually dead. But anyway, people are like, who the hell's Rocco? So you have to go back and listen to like 400 episodes ago to find him. So, and if you even got more than 2 of those, of the 12, lots of credit to you. So, yeah, that's definitely like an Icy Rose level podcast trivia question. All right. Well, moving on from that, Mason, are you ready to do what must be done?
I am indeed.
Get your popcorn ready. It's time for Unexplored Pictures with Mason.
I love how smiley Mitz's Christmas tree is.
Yeah.
It really fits that drop well. For Unexplored Pictures today, I actually have a really quick preliminary shout out. I want to mention the Japanese Film Festival has a bunch of online events that are available for free for you to view. Thanks to Keys in the Discord for sharing. It might have already passed your country, but I wanted to get this out there now in case you live in a country where it's still available for you. I recommend checking out Little Spider Girl, Mandy especially. I think that's adorable and kind of funny. And Pigtails is also a pretty interesting short film. So check those out. But the movie I want to talk about today, I came in with super high expectations for. It's from 2007, 138 minutes long. Studio Shin-Ei's Summer Days with Ku. And I had high expectations for many reasons. One of which, it's on the Kinema Junpo's list of best Japanese animated films of all time. This is Japan's oldest film magazine, and getting a spot on their prestigious top 10 is nothing to sneeze at. And secondly, it's done by Keiichi Hara, a director that deserves a lot more love. He's responsible for a lot of the Crayon Shin-Chan movies, but in the West, he's known for works like Colorful and Miss Hokusai, which are 2 really cool works, as well as the recently released Birthday Wonderland. But Summer Days with Ku tells a story about a lone kappa, this little green water spirit gremlin creature who revives 200 years after being fossilized into modern-day Tokyo. He's found by a young boy named Koichi, and Ku is adopted by the whole family, and he kind of searches around the world for any remaining kappa, any person he can call his family. The Uehara family that Koichi belongs to and Ku is adopted into has great realism and so dynamic, and their dog Osan is the MVP. Ku, being a kappa, isn't immediately cute. He is kind of disgusting looking, but which is fitting because that's kind of how kappa are. But he's so charming and politeful and understanding, and has such a good like general positive demeanor that he's by the end you just feel so much for this little green boy. So it's a story of compassion, adaptability, friendship, discovery, and it is scored with a gorgeous soundtrack. And there's an earnest beauty to the world that this family lives in, all of which is thrown into turmoil when the curiosity and eventual greed of the other humans starts to weigh heavy on them because people want to know about this mysterious creature. And kind of getting into that, it touches on bullying and isolation on children a little bit, and it's all very interesting. And the cover art to this, if you look it up online, really doesn't sell it well. There's not like a lot of sakugo with it. It's not very fluid. It doesn't really look like a movie type budget. It looks kind of like a regular show, but it lies in such a consistent visual approach that all the crowd shots, like everyone is well animated, so every character in this world fits together really well, even the kappa. And little warning, understandably, this kappa doesn't have clothes on because they don't wear clothes. So his privates are represented
They are
in the same way that like Kid Goku's might be. So, and there's even like a joke on it where they like a TV executive wants to get him on TV, but they're like, oh, we got to do something about his nakedness. So, besides, if you can handle a little bit of that, it doesn't get in the way or anything. I give this movie a strong recommendation. If you like A Letter to Momo or like slice of life shows with a seasoning of folklore, it's really good. It's really well done. It's licensed by G Kids, and it can be rented for a few bucks on YouTube, Amazon, and elsewhere. So Summer Days with Ku is pretty cool. Check it out.
Could be worse. Could be a tanuki.
He could be like flailing his ball sack all over the place.
Yeah, if you're
all
if
over
you're
your
thinking
face.
of
Pompoko?
Pompoko, man, it's nothing like that. It's just a little thing. But
little ball sack parachutes.
Exactly.
The picture even looks kind of like
fuck.
Letter to Momo, so
yeah,
interesting. I might check it out.
Good.
Honestly, I would have shown Pompoko to so many people in my life if it wasn't so fucking long. It's just.
Are you talking about the movie or the ball sacks?
Well, I mean, they're not so much like long as they are just round. Pompoko's.
I don't know. They stretch them into parachutes.
I guess it's not as long as I thought. It's only 2 hours. I don't know. It's Pompoko's pretty. It's a strange fucking movie. Oh my god. Okay, so all right, let's do some mailbags, guys, because we can't leave out the mailbags.
It's time for an almighty anime mailbag. Anime.
Mailbag.
So if you would like to leave us a mailbag, go to aaapodcast.com, click the mailbag button, and you can ask us any questions that you would like, and we'll answer them on the show. This one is from Yutaru Vegeta, and they write, every now and again, there are certain design trends that become noticeable in anime. Recently, I've spotted a lot of asymmetrical hair accessories. Review Starlight, Sport Climbing Girls, Love Live, and Is the Order a Rabbit, for instance. So, AAA, what accessory would you wear in your long, lustrous hair? My hair is too long right now, and I would love to get it cut, but I have to wait until it's safe again. But for me, I really love the little skull clips that Nene has, like on her dress from Hanako-kun. The little dress, like that little skull, I would love those. And I also like Hikari's little star clips that you mentioned from Review Starlight. And if someone would love to make me, if someone would like to make me some little yokai ones, I would adore it. Like a little like chibi, I don't know, kappa or tanuki or any of them. I would love it.
I'm picturing like adorable. The little helpers from like Hozuki.
Yes, I'd love it.
Can we get like a gaping fish? Maybe not. Not quite the same.
I just did a chibi Hozuki. I would wear that in my hair.
Yeah, I like the look of the asymmetrical haircuts, or like how they position differently with hair accessories. I think like Princess Principal has some cool examples of that. So I think that looks rad. My hair is not long enough to have any cool hair accessories. Whenever I think of hair accessories, I think of the girls from Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei. They have a bunch of like cool little things that help with their silhouettes. But I think like hypothetically, if my hair was to actually be like very long, I like the braided cord that Mitsu I forget her name from Your Name wears. I think like a bolo tie-esque looking thing would be very weird and obnoxious, but kind of cool. So I don't know, maybe a low-key one of those.
I just want to say, how dare you? Because how, you know what? How dare you? Just totally just take the bald man and just stick him up on display. Mason gets his fun little hair accessories. Mandy gets her accessories. Everyone has fun. Yeah, okay, yeah. Put the bald man up on the stool and laugh. You know, you're gonna be like, you know, my hair accessory is like sticky notes. Like you can put like sticky notes on my head. You know, that's about all I get. So you know what? I know I'm fucking bald. You know, you don't have to rub it in.
Hypothetically.
No, I'm just kidding. So like, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I think that like the hair accessories from like Iria are pretty cool. Like Gren has some like cool like bead type things in his hair that I always thought were kind of neat. So, but I don't know. I don't fucking know.
He's never
Fair
had to
enough.
think about it before.
I have no hair, but you know what? I can go get a haircut though. It's called a razor, and I will use it. So, I don't know. I got nothing. I have nothing. You can just shine things on my head and you know oil it up and like use it as a mirror. Like I don't know, whatever the fuck you want to do. It's all good.
Disco mitts.
Yeah.
I like it.
So, all right. Well, if there's nothing else to say there, I appreciate the mailbags, guys. Again, you can go to our website, aaapodcast.com. There's a mailbag button along the top. You can do a whole lot more there than just submit mailbags. But, you know, that's probably where you would want to start. So head over to the website, submit a mailbag, and we will cover it on the podcast for you. All right. We have reached the end, of the podcast where we do our review of an anime. And we are plowing through this last season. We only have a few shows left, and that's pretty timely because the epic winter season's about to start. So we're going to be doing we're going to be talking about Deca-Dence, which is a summer 2020 anime that I passed back on episode 535. It's about 4 months ago, I guess. And Deca-Dence, done by Studio Nut, which did the Saga of Tanya the Evil. Director Yuzuru Tachikawa of Death Parade and Mob Psycho 100. Honest to God, like, I don't even know where to start with this synopsis because I feel like the synopsis itself is like a spoiler because they basically like they drop it on you like at the end, like in the beginning of episode 4 or something. But
I think the synopsis that's on Mal, I believe, is like actually like really good and like spoiler free because it kind of just talks about like the first episode, which is I don't know. That's like the only part you could talk about without spoilers.
Yeah. All right. So far in the future, life forms known as Gadol have arisen to threaten the existence of humanity. There are humans on Earth that survive, but they confine themselves to this giant mobile fortress called Deca-Dence. And there are gears who live on the upper floors, and who are warriors, and they go out and fight as part of like an organization inside the Deca-Dence called the Power. And then there are other people called the Tankers who basically provide support. Like they chop up the meat of like the destroyed Gadol. They fix the fortress. You know, they do all like the labor work. Natsume is among those who would rather be in the Power, but she doesn't really have the fighting capabilities, so she joins as a tanker, and she's the main character, Natsume. So despite her peers at an orphanage, each receiving their work assignments, Natsume's enlistment in the Power is unapproved, so she can't do it. But she gets a job as an armor cleaner, so she like cleans the armor on the outside of the fortress with her boss Kaburagi, who's the other main character, who seeks to be more than he lets on, etc., and let the wild plot line unfold. Guys, yeah, what were your expectations going into watching Deca-Dence?
I can go first. I went into this almost completely blind. I didn't watch anything when it first released. I just knew three things going into this review. One, the same director has done a lot of interesting works, including World's End, which is a more ambitious than it ended up really deserving to be, but I really like the director. I knew something about an episode 2 Bamboozle, but I didn't know what it entailed. And a lot of people were saying, like, oh, Mason, this is going to be like the one show of the season or the most Mason show of the season. So this was, I kind of had expectations of, oh, this might appeal to me. So that's all I knew going into it.
Mandy, how about you?
Yeah, I'm almost exactly the same. I went into this completely blind. Like Mason, I only remember people mentioning like, "Oh, episode 2, this is crazy. Everything's changed." And so that's basically all I knew about it going in, and I wanted to go into it completely blind so I could be surprised. So I didn't read anything going into it. I just turned it on and was like, "Let's just see what happens." So yeah, I didn't really have any high expectations for it. Or low ones. I was just kind of like, yeah, let's see what happens.
So I actually watched 4 episodes of this before doing the impression, because I was so on the fence with it after 3 episodes that I was like, maybe I'll watch a 4th episode. Maybe it'll like push me one way or the other. And I passed this anime because of its uniqueness. So I initially expected like a battle anime that, like, honest to God, it looked a lot like Attack on Titan sort of in the trailer because they're like flying around on like maneuver gear, it looked like, basically. And it had like the sort of 3-dimensional wild camera work in the action scenes of them flying around and shit. It just resembled Attack on Titan a lot. So like when I picked it for impressions, I was expecting something like that. Not Attack on Titan, but like the action sort of. That's not really what I expected, or what I got rather. So I think my expectations prior to watching the full thing was just to get like kind of like a unique experience from it, because it's not like a typical show. And I'll just jump right into the spoiler-free recommendation. Like, why not? Because I'm talking. I guess if you like very unique anime, then this one is probably, I guess it's a good fit for you. Like, it's definitely outside the box of like what you normally get from anime shows. It's like not a high school show. It's not a harem anime. It's not like a run of the mill like samurai show. It's not at all like most other anime. There probably aren't very many shows like this one. So in that sense, it's really good. In another sense, I didn't really actually end up liking Deca-Dence very much. I thought that like the random jarring shift in animation to like the, I don't know, almost like Saturday morning like cartoon look that like you get about half the time in the anime didn't really appeal to me. And I found the characters and the story to be kind of like, I don't know, I just didn't really give a shit, I guess, like to be blunt. Like the story just wasn't interesting. Some of the characters were fine, but the story at large just didn't really click with me very well. And it certainly isn't the action anime that it was initially presented as. So I honestly don't think I'd recommend Deca-Dence. Like, I think that there's enough unique viewing experiences out there that if you're looking for like just something outside the box, like there's other choices. But as far as like most other things about Deca-Dence, I just wasn't very interested. This was a show where I would watch it, and 5 minutes in, I would be like distracted doing something else because I was just never interested enough to really, to be able to say that like I was engaged at all. So that's pretty much my thoughts on it. We'll get into more later, but I want to hear what you guys thought.
Yeah, definitely the outside the box thing is what I look for in shows, which is why I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, Mason, check the show out." And I don't think it will surprise anyone if I say this show has a lot of flaws in it. The main character, Kaburagi, is kind of generic and is not as interesting as his compatriots. Severe pacing issues in the second half that shortchange emotional moments, and especially like poor world mechanics later on that relies on a lot of just like exposition dialogue rather than telling stuff is all like very prevalent in the show. But damn, this is probably my favorite of the summer shows at the moment because the first half was absolutely killer. The soundtrack, the visuals were all really hitting on all cylinders. The concept was really bold and kind of I just love original works, and it kind of almost excuses the sloppy construction and kind of reversion to a typical standard ending, which while I didn't love it, it was enough to get me through the show on a positive note. And the show had Pipe in it, who is amazing, and I love him,
Yes.
and he's precious. And yes, I would recommend this if you are like me and that you like odd curiosities. It's kind of like a mashup between Kaiba with its weird art style and emotional moments with, as Mitt said, Attack on Titan. And I think it loses a bit by trying to play into so many different genres, and it can't quite keep momentum to the finish line. But I enjoyed it for most of the time, and it's more of a memorable show than a exemplary show of so many components working well together. But nonetheless, I enjoyed my time with it, and if you are looking for something different, check it out.
Yeah, I'm almost exactly the same as Mason. Honestly, overall, except for like some issues towards the end, I thought this was a really rad anime. I thought it was really cool, and like I really highly suggest that if you're going to watch this, go into it completely blind. Because the second episode, if you don't know what's coming, I was like, oh, it's kind of like I really love it when shows have a first episode that feels a little like something is missing, and or maybe character interactions don't make sense, and then you're kind of like, is this just poor writing or what's going on? And then the next episode they kind of answer those questions for you. You're like, oh, that's why this happened, or that's why this character acted this way. And this anime does that. I thought it was really cool, and I'm always a sucker for that. But yeah, I think towards the end it does get a little messy, and it bounces back and forth between cynical and hopeful, and I feel like at the end I'm not really entirely sure what kind of message they're trying to get you to come away with, and I guess we'll talk about that later because I could see it both ways. But overall, I thought it was really cool. It has a very trigger feel to it.
Yes.
And yeah, I definitely recommend checking it out. I thought it was really cool, but definitely go into it blind. Don't read anything.
Or listen to what we're about to tell you.
Yeah, please don't listen to the spoilers on this one.
Yeah, this is like one of those, like sometimes, like we've been doing some reviews lately where it's like Rent a Girlfriend. Well, there really aren't too many spoilers and like that kind of
Somebody
shit.
rented a girlfriend.
But this anime, you can like ruin your whole viewing experience by listening to the spoilers. So just be aware.
The spoiler, the big one we're thinking of, I think is kind of early on. So there's still a whole show after it, but yeah, it's still best going in blind just for all the turns on the way.
All right, here comes the drop.
Spoilers are coming. Oh my god!
So yeah, so like as I said, like I was super disengaged with this anime, so fill in my gaps in knowledge where they present. But basically, like this is like a post-apocalyptic show, I guess. So like we're in like the 2400s, and humans have destroyed the earth from pollution, and they're mostly extinct humans, and there's like a large corporations develop cyborgs to carry out lots of the functions of humanity, because humanity was like largely wiped out, I guess. But the cyborgs eventually outnumbered the humans because they're manufacturing them, I guess. And a corporation called Solid Quake, that sounds a lot like Solid Snake, bought the rights to manage all of humanity that was left. So I guess this company has these cyborgs, and they use them to manage humanity inside of a giant dome called the Deca-Dence, and which has like its own governing systems and AI and whatnot. And the cyborg citizens then safely experience like adventures inside the Deca-Dence as human avatars without like any risk to injury, unless they like take their limiters off or whatever, in which case if you die, you actually die in real life. And then I guess like the story is to like tear down the system. It's kind of what I got from it.
For the most part, except the AI are like actual humans that are trapped in this system. So like Natsume's a real person, not like an AI or anything. Although they call her a bug because she is because she's supposed to be dead, because when her heart stopped in the beginning of the first episode, it registered her as dead, but she's not actually dead. And they call anybody a bug who might figure out what's actually going on, because the humans in this dome think that this is their world. That's like that these creatures are attacking them. They're trying to survive. But the cyborgs who are using avatars in this world are they're just there for entertainment. They think that this whole thing is a game. So I thought that was super cool. I thought that whole setup was really cool, very unique. And I feel like somebody had this suggestion on Shark Tank once, and we were like, that'll never work. I swear that happened. I was trying to find the episode.
But like Kaburagi's human avatar, is that a real human or is that just like a body being?
No, so
yeah, just like a robot.
it is a like a skeletal construct. It's like a robot that they put like putty over and like form into the shape of a human to disguise with real life humans that just have chips in them so they can be tracked by the thing. So it's not so much a bug if you can discover the secret, but if you are outside the system of the game, if you are not being able to be tracked or influenced, then you are a risk of disrupting it and are thus determined a bug. And it's cool because this world, all of episode 1, it's like this Pacific Rim, Drifting Dragons, Mad Max mashup, and it's such a cool concept by itself. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then they added the second component on top of it, which meshed really well, which I thought was super interesting.
Right. So
and they even teased it at the end of episode 1. Like, we see the cyborg world at the end of episode 1. We just don't know what it means yet.
So Natsume is a human living in a world with things that look like humans.
Correct. And it's actually all the same world. It's all on the same surface of the same planet. It's not like they are going into a video game and are represented as humans. It's actually just an area outside of the cyborg dome, which is this like wasteland where a few straggling humans survive it, called tankers, and robots are transported there, and that just their consciousness is able to be beamed into these human-like forms called gears, which play a game, and they fight the Gadol, the big monsters.
But I think what I thought was really cool about the first episode is when we don't know anything about that. It like comes off as kind of like just a fantasy, like Mason said, kind of like just there are monsters in this world and they're trying to survive. But I thought was really cool is when I was watching the first episode, I was like, this is kind of a cool concept, but everybody feels so emotionless, almost like there's no like real agency to it, except for like like Natsume and a few other people. And then I was like, in the second episode, I'm like, oh, it makes sense. They're just playing a game. It's just a game to them. I thought that was really cool. It was like one of those moments where everything kind of clicked into place. I'm like, oh, that's why.
I guess the question is like, where are the actual humans then? Because if they're not,
they're in the dome.
They're in. Well, so when we say, I guess we should clarify. Deca-Dence is the ship, the big fortress moving thing with the big old fist cannon on top of it, where the humans reside, and it's fueled by that green gloop that the monsters exude when they're killed. So I don't know if this is all the humans on Earth. We aren't really shown, but
I think so, because they said that this is the only place humans can survive. Like they're keeping them preserved in this dome because the rest of the world is destroyed. They're keeping them preserved in this dome while also using them as a form of entertainment.
I was going to say, imagine if like a zoo had all the animals left on the world, but it also was offering fun like rides on them that was dangerous, which seems kind of weird that you would put humans in this dangerous situation, but it's just what they've been turned into, kind of a source of fuel for this cyborg gaming system. It's definitely an out there concept, and I guess I don't want to come off as aggressive. I didn't think it was hard to follow. Like everything was pretty well laid out. It wasn't like it was trying to be so smart and have so many rug pulls. It just had a couple big shifts going on, and you just had to follow what exactly was what. But I don't know, the first 6 episodes of Kaburagi, this leading cyborg, I forget, ranker, I think they call him. He was one of the best
he's like
battle killers back in the day. He's kind of done with that system, and he's kind of living the armor repair life with Natsume, and he kind of realizes that she, because the system no longer recognizes her as alive, is kind of outside the system, and kind of realizes that there's potential in that and kind of trains her to be a Gadol warrior and join the other cyborgs in fighting. And the first 6 episodes of the show were nothing short of phenomenal. Natsume is Bae. She's an amazing character. She was so expressive and lively. Pipe was just this little Kigurumi wearing beluga whale. I want Raffi to come sing a song about him. Like, the main core of those 3 just living in this world was exceptional, and I could have watched that the whole time.
Mm-hmm. I think it also touched on a lot of really difficult subjects as well, because the entire anime plays with the concepts of like environmental issues and prison labor, that kind of stuff. There are a lot of really dark or not dark, but like difficult subjects that it addresses in like a fantasy world, kind of like cranked up to 11. Like, this is kind of like the crazy shit that not could happen, but like, keep that in mind in a world where cyberpunk just was allowed to happen. I mean, there are bugs everywhere.
It's a lot of like the
so
upper
many
echelons
bugs
of society, people with power, like how much they control the system and how powerless people below them are to change that or have any impact on their own lives when they're so locked into the framework and aren't allowed to deviate and are struck down. And it's very easy to see in game mechanics, oh, this thing doesn't work right, it is bad and evil and is to be eliminated. But in the real world, every character here is like, no, we need to push outside to go, quote unquote, beyond our limits, which is a little bit overused considering almost every relationship in this show is between 2 people, one of which who wants to keep things the same and one of which who wants to change that. But it does drive the point home that deviation is not bad.
Yeah. I felt like the ending was a little not confusing, but like I feel like the message overall was kind of mixed up, because throughout the whole thing they're trying to escape this system. It's Natsume is, after finding out, is trying to get out of this system. Kaburage, is that his name?
Kaburage
is trying to bring the whole system down because their humans in this dome are suffering as part of this big just manufactured game. They're sending out monsters, they're killing people, and they want to be able to create like a real world again where they can all live together, cyborgs and humans. But towards the end it got a little, I don't know, like it felt very cynical but also trying to be hopeful at the same time, and I felt like they weren't really sure what message they wanted to come away with it, because while they're trying to desperately escape this system, afterwards at the very end they do bring down Deca-Dence, who's creating these Gadols, but they also kind of turn it into their own fun land. And I was like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like cyborgs and humans are living together again, but they're also like creating entertainment together. And I was like, I don't know, I feel like you guys didn't exactly escape the system, but just changed it into something for yourself, which I don't know if maybe that was intentional or unintentional of the author to say, like, all you can do is try to fight as hard as you can, but there's no real escaping it. That's what it felt like, very cynical in the end. I wasn't sure.
I mean, I thought the fundamental framework of the problems with the previous world were, I guess, taken care of by them like living together with free will was my interpretation. But
yeah,
I guess I was satisfied with the ending as far as like how it quote unquote ended, but like I just felt very cliched along the way, and there was a lot of like world building things that just didn't really make sense, where they are, oh, we can't get into the dome because you have a chip, but if you don't have a chip you can go into the dome, but this random dude butt chugs bomb juice out of nowhere and blows up a pipe, and because of that we get this kind of fake heroic ending thing. Like, it seemed like they were just like coming up with excuses to allow our characters to have their big climactic moment, even though I didn't really love it. But just to rewind, just really funny, I thought, when there's a moment where Kaburagi has to log on to the game under a different account, and because it's a new account, it gives him like the terms and services, and it like does like the fast scroll through them and just clicks accept at the end, which I thought was peak realism.
Like, for real?
When you get that like 18-page like terms and services, you're like, nah, I'm gonna accept.
The parts that I absolutely loved when the cyborgs are treating it like your typical MMO. They're like, oh, they're shutting down the system today to try and handle bugs and fix story quests. Sure, is this a new story quest?
Yeah.
I thought those parts were really cool. Where they just treated the whole thing like a big MMO and different events showing up, and yeah, I thought that was kind of funny.
It's all they know, and it
Yeah.
was believable in how everyone kind of approached it, and the goals of the villains were realistic, and it makes
Mhm.
sense why they had the goals they had, and that's kind of crucial to a story with so many moving parts, is that you understand why people are doing what they're doing. Um, but
But I
go
thought
ahead.
I thought the world was like so because at the end it's like they're out like farming and doing all like fucking tours and shit. And it's like, first of all, I thought the world that they ended up in was way more fun looking than the world that we came from. So I was like, oh, it's like I want to be in the world where there's like like 3-dimensional blitzball and you know where they're you know just having like adventures and shit. But like I thought the world was so polluted that they couldn't use it. But then, like, were they not out like farming and shit at the end? Like, I mean,
Yeah, I don't think they could ever leave the dome. I'm not sure. It's not. Did they tear down the dome at the end? I don't think they did. I think it's still in place because they can't, as far as I could tell from what it showed us, is that the rest of the world is destroyed and polluted because they dump all of the extra garbage and junk from like Godals and just being able to manufacture this giant system that the whole world is destroyed.
It's hard to really place where the
Yeah.
zones are and how big they are and what they entail.
hmm
But
But
I
as
don't know.
far as I can tell, I think they're still in the zone. They're just trying to like live together in like a real world and not like one where it's like they're manufactured
Manipulation.
for or manipulated for like entertainment. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that wasn't my sticking point. It was a lot of the pacing issues in the second half to come to a conclusion and
Yeah, for
stuff like
sure.
that, and generic fight scenes at the end, which were
Yeah,
fine
the
in
big fight
concept,
scene at the like giant Godal at the end was kind of
very
silly.
Trigger-esque.
Yeah, very
But
trigger.
I
Omega.
don't know. I think the big thing to talk about is the animation. I think there's a clear between the quote unquote world of Deca-Dence, where it looks amazing. The CG I thought blended really well. All the fighting systems looked really good. Obviously, there's a clear disconnect intentionally to the robot world, which looks, as Mitt said, very cartoony and bubbly. And I agree that I did not like the look of it from like a visual standpoint, but I thought it still looked fine and it communicated everything it needed to do, so I didn't have a problem with it.
I fucking hated it. I mean, I don't know.
Understandably.
But I don't like silly things. Like, you know, I don't know. I mean, I
I
don't
get
know.
you.
I guess
Mason's no fun. You're no silly.
I'm no. I mean, yeah. I mean, maybe I'm no fun too. But it's like, you
I'm
know,
the only fun one here.
yeah. I mean,
I thought they were cool and fun.
I mean, yeah. I didn't like him at all. Like, I was like, you look like a fucking like fucking
Cereal
piece.
box
She looked
mascot.
like a cotton candy floof. Like with one eyeball. Yeah, with like striped socks. I'm like, what? Like, what the fuck? You know. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's just like. I guess it's gonna work for some people and not for others, but I feel like people watch anime for the certain type of style that it's usually in, and then like when they take that away and they give you basically like something that looks like a Western cartoon that you'd watch like on the WB like on a Thursday morning, you know, it just doesn't. I don't know. It's like not what I'm there for. Maybe I guess I don't know.
No,
I
I
don't know.
understand where you're coming from.
I thought it was cool and kind of just thinking outside of the box. I always like things that try to do something different, even if they're not always successful. I thought it was super cool. And Kaburagi looks like he's from Among Us.
Kaburagi
cracking
is
up.
like a little too much of a tryhard, self-serious with like the Goku spiked hair. Like
I loved him.
he was so like I'm seeing both sides of the fence. I like the way that it looked in that it was different. I wish we got more interaction of the like realistic world with the cyborg world. I think that would have been a much better like mesh. We only got a little bit of that in the last episode, but it didn't distract from anything most of the time. A lot of the characters still came through in their personality, and it's funny seeing these cartoonish characters then also represented in their avatars in the quote unquote realistic world, and seeing like the similarities and how they customize themselves in their own image was kind of a nice touch. So I thought art wise, it stayed pretty consistent, except for episode 7. They had a lot of, speed lines, still frames, animation hits, but throughout most of it, I thought it looked really good. I like episode 8. They did like the Monsters Inc. like avatar or door searching room when they're like jumping from door to door.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was a nice touch. I like episode 12, like the fake heroics sacrifice of Donatello when he like gives up his life to like distract the monster, but it's just his avatar, so everyone's like mourning his loss, and then he just comes right back, and he's like and they're mad at him. He's like, wait, what did I do wrong?
Yeah, they're like, who are you?
Musically, I thought this was spectacular. I really dug the music in it. It had so many Sawano vibes and like nice melodic pieces. It was all over the place in the best of ways, so I thought it was a really good production.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to stop watching anime like late at night, especially anime that are like plot heavy, because like this one, unless they're like really engaging, because this one just put me to sleep like almost immediately, and then I think I probably watched the whole thing like 7 or 8 times, because it would just like I'd be like on episode 4 and I'd wake up and Hulu would say, by the way, this is on Hulu. Hulu would be like, oh, would you like to continue on episode 12? I'm like, wait, what? Because the whole fucking thing, the whole damn anime played while I was sleeping. And yeah, it is what it is. It's not it's definitely not like AD Police or something like that, which I've been watching on Retro Crush. This is one of those where if you miss like the 10 minutes where they give you like a lot of the plot, then you're fucked. So it was fine. I'll pick these anime that that are ambitious and try to do something different every time. When you're going to give me something that's not like romping around in a high school or whatever the hell the generic anime fare is, like I'm going to take that every time, even if I end up not liking it, because I think it's worth the risk, and I think this anime took a lot of risks. So
yeah.
And that's good. I always think like anime is personally like an entertainment, a form of entertainment that kind of gets stuck in its ruts and doesn't always like branch out creatively the way that like you might hope for, and people get tired of watching the same shit all the time, and this was not that. So like it's commendable when the storyline is trying to do something that hasn't been done over and over and over again. So I give it a lot of credit for that. Even if ultimately like it wasn't my favorite thing. I wouldn't say I hated it. It just I found the story. Story just didn't really interest me, but it was fine. Yeah.
No, Mitch, I'm glad you passed it. I'm glad you fell on the good side of the Deca-Dence and decided to go with it. And I always enjoy original works. I always say anime is not a genre, it's a medium, and stuff like this where it pushes that in new directions is always worth the risk. And I kind of came in with little to no expectations. The first half really skyrocketed my hopes and dreams, and while it didn't quite live to that potential, in the end I enjoyed it, and I am super glad I watched it.
Yeah, same. And also it's available also on Funimation, and most of it is dubbed. I watched most of it dubbed. I think the last 2 episodes are the only ones that aren't dubbed yet. So if you
how was the dub?
I thought it was fine for the most part. There are a couple characters that were a little off, but for the most part, I thought it was fine dubbed.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched the subs on this one, so I don't even think I knew that they had a dub.
Yeah, it's on Funimation if you want to watch it.
Got it. Okay. Well, I don't have much else to add. Like it's I think we covered it.
Yeah.
So that
It
was
was very ambitious and thought outside the box, and I thought the overall message it was trying to convey was interesting.
Yeah. So that's Deca-Dence, guys. It's definitely a show for people that want something outside the box. Next week we're going to be doing Fire Force Season 2, so that'll be like a totally different type of thing. And we're going to be wrapping, and then probably right after that, we're going to be starting to do the fall 2020 shows. We'll pick the biggest of those titles and do a couple of those because we've got the winter season like coming right around the corner. Because I think next week we're going to be doing like selections from winter. So, and we'll announce that. But boy, time flies. The whole
I kind
year.
of like that we have like
year.
it almost seems like a couple weeks between the end of fall and the start of winter. Besides
Really?
Attack on Titan, I feel like we have a week or two to breathe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, well, that'll just give us time to get some things done. So, it's always good. Anyway, that's about it.
We did it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sticking around, and happy holidays to everybody. Thank you for listening to our Christmas episode.
Yay, Christmas.
So social media, I am on Twitter as Mandy X Mandy. What would you guys like to say?
I'm on Twitter at Macy Pacey.
I'm at Pope Mitsugi, so there it is.
And we also have our podcast one, AAA Podcast, on Twitter to get updates on everything that we have going on in our community. Facebook as well. We have our Facebook group still, and you can also find the link to our Discord on our website, aaapodcast.com. And we have some clubs that are kind of taking a small hiatus, but we do still have updates for them. What about Anime Club?
Anime Club, we will be watching the first 12 episodes and discussing Excel Saga on December 30th. You can find that on Funimation. On January 13th, we'll watch and discuss the entire first season of March Comes In Like a Lion. So January 13th, March Comes In Like a Lion, Season 1, January 13th. Be there. It's really good. I want to be there. January 13th. Do it.
Manga Club will be back January 6th, and we are reading the first 4 volumes of Yona of the Dawn. So you gotta do is read those, come to Manga Club on our Discord, and we'll have a laid back chat on them on January 6th. Thank you so much for listening, and we love you. We'll be back next week with tips.
See you, everyone.
Happy holidays. Bye.
Bye, guys.